Hey, Valley Truthers. I ran across an interesting scenario and question from a parent of a 12s player. So I thought I might share and make a comment. So as you know, I'm going to read the post, read some of the responses, and then I'll give my take on it. So let's go. It says, hi everyone, I'm needing some advice or some insight because I'm kind of at a loss. I apologize if this is really long. I'll try my best to keep it short. My 12-year-old joined club for the first time this season with a brand new volleyball team. Everything was fine. Practices have been good up until recently. The last half hour of practice, they have a little practice game and my daughter always sits out. I've noticed this at the last maybe 3 practices that this has happened. My daughter asked her coach if she's ever going to get to play, and her coach said she will try to put her in as much as possible, but for the most part, she'll be a sub. Coach also told her that everyone has to earn their playtime. I asked the coach today after practice and she told me the same thing, that my daughter will just be a sub because the goal is to win games. I don't know if this is a normal or common thing. We're learning as we go. We're both brand new to all of this. So that's why I wanted to come on here and ask. I personally feel like I'm wasting my time and mostly my money, that I'm literally scraping for scraps to pay for this. I also see it in my daughter's face that she's starting to lose interest in the sport. She used to look forward to practices all the time, and now she honestly doesn't want to go anymore and has asked me to stay home a few times. I obviously take her either way because I got to make my money's worth, but her will to try at the practices have slowly been disappearing, that I'm wondering if I'm just hurting her more. My daughter has expressed to me that she feels the coach doesn't like her because she won't put her in. I have noticed also that another girl who is much worse at the sport than my daughter, she's gotten a lot more playtime at these practice games. My daughter isn't a pro by all means, but I know she isn't awful like the coach portrayed her to be. She's a decent player. My kiddo practices at home every chance she gets. She watches several videos and takes notes, and she has improved immensely compared to when she first started out in August. And now then she was awful. I'll be the first to say it. She sucked when she started out. I would be the first to admit when she's bad or good. And honestly, she's a good player now. Not amazing, but good. I just don't know what to do because honestly, I don't feel like taking her to any more tournaments. I'll take her to the practices, but that's probably just it. I'm wasting the money that I don't have and gas to go just for her to sit out the whole time. Someone give me hope or change my mind. I don't know because I honestly feel sad for her and we're just starting the season. So here are some of the responses. She's 12. Okay, just my 2 cents. But if she's not giving her best at every practice and opportunity, she is going to sit. Now, if you are leaving it all out on the court every time, it wasn't getting playtime after showing desire and improvement, I can see your frustration. Volleyball is highly competitive in most areas. For example, we have a highly competitive high school team in a very competitive area of our state. My daughter added club to get more playing experience and practice so she can continue to play in high school. She has goals for each practice and club season. She works very hard every practice and every single game. Coaches want to see desire, hustle, and determination. Another mom stated, a club volleyball lesson that I think is very important is you pay to practice and not to play. You earn your playing time. I know it is hard on them when they feel like they aren't progressing as quickly as other players, but tell her to keep working hard at home, showing up with a positive attitude and working her hardest, and maybe she will earn a non-sub spot. If not this year, maybe next year. Practicing hard with players that are better than you will always help you grow. The other thing I was going to say about the other player you think is worse than your daughter, what position does your daughter play and what position does the other girl play? Another lady says, at 12s, everyone should be getting opportunities to play in games. That's not saying it should be equal playing time, which is actually a myth in volleyball. As far as comparing her to another player, please remember that coaches see things that you don't even know exist to look at. Who is going to base? Who is going to transition to defense? Who is remembering to block? That's just the tip of the iceberg. So while What you see may lead you to believe your daughter is better than another player. That may not actually be true. A great question for your daughter to ask is specifically what she needs to work on and focus on to get more playing time. A coach actually said, I coach, have played myself, and I'm also a volleyball parent. I have to say at 12, I think you are within your right to question why she is getting no playing time, especially at practices. When they are older, the playtime gets narrower, but at 12, there is no way that a coach could know that someone is going to be a top player or not. They are still growing and maturing. 14s, teams, and definitely 15s teams, different story, absolutely. Yep, I would definitely have a conversation, and frankly, any coach should not be uncomfortable to have these conversations. Another person said, I understand your concerns. The club scene is not a pay to play, but a pay to train. Since you are already committed, I would talk to your daughter about the situation. If she is really committed, I would challenge her to commit 100% effort and determination, along with as many private lessons as you can afford. If she has athleticism, she will improve, and by next year, she can try out for another team and or a club that fits her best. This should be a training year to get your daughter up to speed. She will learn a lot from training and watching being the best teammate ever. My youngest daughter never started, but she was beloved by her teammates because she was always an incredible teammate. You can also encourage her to improve her volleyball IQ by studying and reading about the game and the skills. Your current situation can be an opportunity rather than a setback because she can choose the following. Good luck, and feel free to DM it, Ted, with the call. The last one says, as a former club player myself, when I joined a new club team, I sat the bench for almost an entire season. My parents were spending money they did not have. My club team practiced 90 minutes away from my hometown because it was the most competitive club in our state, and almost every single tournament was out of state. While I admit I royally sucked at times, it also lit a major fire under my butt. I was constantly talking to my coach about what specifically I needed to improve at to see the court. I worked my butt off, and not only did I start getting playing time, but I became a starter and went on to play college volleyball at a D2 level school. While it may suck to see your daughter sad about playing time, it will build her character and teach her some valuable lessons. So before I jump too far down this rabbit hole, I have a few questions of my own because I have not seen this player or the other girl's skill that she mentioned. One, I would ask, when did she start playing volleyball? I understand that they are 12, but it matters in strong regions, which brings me to the next question. Number two, what region or state even, because I can figure it out from that state sometimes you are in. You can DM me on Facebook Messenger for privacy. This, as I know, could be a telltale sign as to why the player will be used as a substitute only. Number three, does this club team offer great training? 4, can you see your player improving? And this is last for now. Number 5, if this was not quite what you were looking for, especially with it being a financial burden, would you consider speaking with the director and the coach about possibly switching your player from an active player to a practice player position? This way, she will receive all of the training, the workouts, sessions that's offered, even practice shirts, and be okay leaving when it's time to scrimmage, or even stay if the team needs her to fill in, if and when an active player is out, sick. Now, this conversation that you have with the player or the choice you make on her behalf is going to be an important one. I definitely understand you don't want to hurt your player, but you also don't want this season to hurt her mentally. Most of all, feel, say, and agree that at 12s and under, all players should play. But the truth is, those thoughts, feelings, and ideas just do not hold true. There are 10s, 11s, and 12-year-old teams that really make you put some respect on their names, to be honest. So parents, don't be out here slipping on the skills, the physicality, and the learning capacity of these young players in those age groups. As far as the other player you observed to be not as good or on par with your player, take a step back and question if you are viewing things through your parental goggles, like this other person said. Not that you are, I'm just saying consider it. So it's rough out here in these volleyball streets. So until next time, remember, play like you're going to be subbed out. That's all for now, but if you like the content, leave a comment below, spike the like button, and subscribe to my channel.